We want to start off with a reminder that we are not doctors. Before you make any changes or try something new, always consult with your doctor and medical team first. Chronic illness can vary from patient to patient, so it's always best to consult with your own doctor for what is best for you.
Hello and welcome back to IBD Determined. I'm your host, Mason Harvey, and I speak from the role of a patient and I have Crohn's disease.
And I'm your other host, Michelle Harvey. I am Mason's mom, and I speak in the role of a caregiver. And this week's theme is We Are Sick. So,
I love that theme.
Yes. Mason caught something. We just had a podcast
talking about
this.
Because in the podcast, I was about to say I haven't been sick for like 4 years. Yeah. And she was like, don't say that, don't say that.
No, I was like, don't. Whenever anybody says that.
Jinx.
And
well,
here we are. And then Mason was kind enough to gift it to me.
I love gifting.
So as it goes. So we don't have a real, I wasn't sure we'd both be able to.
The sponsor of today's video is Kleenex, by the way.
Yes, we each have our own boxes here.
No, they're not sponsoring our video, but that would be fun.
How many boxes? You've gone through like 10 boxes.
8, yeah. No,
yeah.
No.
I'm exaggerating.
Well, no, it's probably on spot because I haven't saved all the boxes.
Yeah. I mean, together. It's
probably been like that.
So, I mean, a couple interesting things, I guess I would say. The good thing is, like we talked about, getting sick can make you flare. And thankfully
that won't happen.
No, we're just going to say that for sure.
Yeah, we're just going to say that won't happen, right?
But luckily, everything's gone well on that front. And luckily, he did a COVID and a flu test and both were negative. So that's good. Yeah. On the positive side of things, that's all good. And, we had a really good week leading up to all of this. And we had, first of all, Mason had his infusion, and there was a child who was sick in the infusion center. Yep. It is always a little frustrating when you're going into one of these places where
you can tell someone is audibly and visually sick, and
within like a minute of walking in, we identified the child.
First, it's like I understand the nurses, they might not want to deal with that.
Because they ask you.
Yeah, there's literally a questionnaire you have to fill out before you go to the hospital. It says, are you feeling any symptoms of being sick?
And then they call you the day before and they ask
you,
has anyone in the house been sick? Is anyone not feeling well? And so they do try. And
this kid wasn't like just starting to come on with something.
No, it was a good cough.
But
it wasn't like it just developed while he was staying in the infusion center. But the other thing is we want to say, I have to say, is we don't always know what somebody has.
No.
And so it puts you in an uncomfortable situation because they can't disclose to you, there's HIPAA laws. Like, it's not like they can tell you, oh no, he's not sick. He has something that causes him to cough and to look sick. And so you just rely on the professionalism, I guess the professional opinion of the nurses to make a call because they know that patient. So we can't always, order things around because we don't know.
Yeah, but there's been other times like when parents said, oh yeah, he's sick.
Yeah.
And
he
was
we were
sick.
Yeah, the bed directly across
him. And
the
parents were the nurses were trying to get him to take precautions, but the kid didn't want to take those precautions, and the parents didn't want to force it. So
that was and so that was on a Tuesday, and we were like, okay. Hopefully everybody, in between working with the patients, the nurses wash their hands. Hopefully nothing. And that's all you can do. And so then the next day we went to Irvine, the San Diego Blood Bank. I don't know if you guys knew this, but there is a San Diego Blood Bank in Irvine. Yeah. And that is a little bit north. And so
there's a really cool mural when you're walking in there. Not to the blood bank, but in the building.
Really and then in there, the surprise was there's a poster decorating Mason.
On it.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that was cool.
Really cool.
And then
because we turned around, I was like, wait a minute, there I am.
Yeah, because I was like, hey, that's you. And it was pretty cool. And when we walked down the hallway to where the where they take the blood. Then there's
Your quote.
my quote is huge on the wall.
And it goes, Mason's mom,
Yeah,
Michelle.
it's so cool. So that was exciting. We had no idea. So that was cool. And so we had made pumpkin cookies that I shouldn't say pumpkin cookies. We made shortbread cookies in the shape of pumpkins.
Yeah,
Two different
they're
things.
not pumpkin cookies. They're
Right?
shortbread cookies.
Two
Yeah,
different
in the
things.
shape of a pumpkin.
Yeah.
They're not actually pumpkins.
So we brought those.
Yes.
And
I love them.
yep. And then after that, we went to Disneyland.
Yeah.
Because it's right there. We have magic keys, so we go anytime. We were able to go in. We did not go indoors at Disneyland one time. We went on one ride, which was Big Thunder. We used hand sanitizer.
Yes.
Mason wore a mask.
Sanitizer.
We had lunch in downtown Disney at Naples.
And
Delicious.
Been
Outdoors as well.
yes,
And
nobody.
yeah, so that was we did, took every precaution. And then the next day after that, we headed down to San Diego for Mason to give a speech for about 50 people, and that was indoors.
Fun.
He did wear a mask to present. We took every precaution, and we can blame the infusion center, but we don't know. We
don't know for sure.
We did a lot of things in a row.
And
timing.
And at the other place, I had my mask on the entire time.
Yeah.
I didn't take it off. And I didn't touch anything.
Right.
So
we did do a lot of stuff for us. And
thankfully the speech went fine. I was feeling great. Yeah. Now here's the fun part. I got sick. I was starting to get sick the day after. It was like halfway to like 3 hours past.
So and it was right before a windshield repairman was coming because something went through my windshield. Still don't know what it was, but it hit our windshield on the previous, the Sunday evening before Mason's infusion.
Sounded weird. Anyways.
So so the guy was he was supposed to come on Saturday. And he called and he's like, "Hey, I'm in the area. I can stop by and fix your windshield." And I was like, "Sweet." And then Mason literally was like,
"Yeah, I feel a sore throat." No, I felt fine when I woke up. I felt fine. When
all day.
Exactly then. I'm feeling a slight sore throat.
Right.
Like an allergy or maybe, I don't know, a slight irritation. It wasn't even bad.
Yeah.
And then within the course of like 2 to 3 hours,
he's
sneezing. I'm using a box of tissues already.
Right.
And that's within like 2 hours of just feeling.
And we knew. We're like, no. And it had been about 4 years since Mason had been sick. So that was like a bummer.
So I had I said my speech went well. That was for 2 people. In college, it just so happened to be that the final speech, the biggest speech that I've done for my entire class, just so happened to be
it was due 2 days after you got sick.
2 days after I got sick.
Yeah.
Wow. So
right when that cough starts.
Yeah, right when that cough starts. So thankfully, here's the good news. We managed to do the speech, get the video recorded exactly within about a 2-hour frame. 2-hour period of when my nose stopped running like 24/7 and before I started coughing.
Right.
And so it was the perfect timing. But the 2 days before, I'm going.
Yeah, he was miserable.
Because I'm going, I have to do a speech, and I'm like,
I know. And the bummer was it wasn't even just like, oh, I have to do the speech. It was an important one.
It was an important one. It was about the blood bank too.
Right.
I still did
very well
for being sick.
So that was kind of like,
comes up to that.
Man, of course you're doing like something that's super important to you and trying to persuade people why they should donate blood.
So fun.
And but he did excellent. He got through it.
See, if you donate blood, I won't be sick with the cold.
And so then we had Thanksgiving come up, and usually everybody is careful for this guy because they're worried about Mason. But my mom's going, well, since if Mason's feeling well enough, we'll still have Thanksgiving over here. It'll be fine. You guys can come over. And then my sister's daughter came down with a fever, sore throat.
Now here's the really fun part. Like a few weeks earlier. Now, ever since I got home from the hospital, every Thanksgiving since then, somebody has gotten sick.
Oh, we shouldn't say this. We should not talk about this.
But it's gotten.
It's gonna curse it.
So then my grandma goes, I wonder who's gonna who's gonna get it this Thanksgiving? And I was like, hopefully it's not me.
So what ended up happening is my mom canceled Thanksgiving because she's like, you know what? Mason's still gonna be getting over something. Hey, we don't know what Haley has. And we don't want, then they're like, any of you guys could get sick too, because, being around Mason or my sister being around her daughter. And so my mom's like, let's just cancel Thanksgiving. So that's what they did. So, so on Thanksgiving, we had chicken noodle soup.
Yes.
It was homemade. I had made it for Mason because he was,
There we go.
yeah. We had that. We had string bean casserole,
which I helped make.
Mason's favorite, and homemade bread. And there was just the three of us. We
Just the
had.
three of us. Here's the fun part. See, I was just starting to get over fall. I'm still a little bit sick. It's on Thanksgiving. It was 6
days.
And so I was getting better. It was just nice to hang out, watch the Macy's Day Parade, you know?
Yeah.
Just be able to relax.
And we watched Garfield Thanksgiving.
Garfield.
We never saw it.
It's good.
It was actually kind of cool. So we did that while we were making the stuff. And so for me, we were out on the day before that. We had started putting up Christmas lights. And so I had helped my husband. We wrap all the branches on. We have a giant camphor tree in our front yard. It's about no, 7 years old. I think I was gonna say 50. It's like 7 years old.
Wow.
And it's amazing. And so we wrap all the branches on it. I was wrapping all of them, and then that night I started sneezing, and I was like, oh no, because I get allergies. And so Thanksgiving was the next day, and I didn't get better, and it started progressively getting more and more congested. And
those camphor allergies are crazy.
I know. And so then I'm going, this is an allergy.
Yeah, this is an allergy.
I'm sick now too. So, so that's what we've been doing. And that's why the podcast today is us really just talking about being sick. But the one thing we do like to do, because like we're not going to do too much talking today, but the one thing we do is like to bring you guys something of value. It's, if you're going to tune into us, we do want to still talk about something IBD centric. So,
we're still going to talk about something.
So just so you know, IBD Awareness Week is this week. And so when this is published, it will be IBD Awareness Week. And that is December 1st through the 7th. Good time for you guys to share your stories if you're comfortable with that, and let people know, what they can do, to help you.
Help raise awareness, help you help
fundraise,
research.
But yeah, share your stories, and caregivers out there, share your stories too. It's
literally your week.
Yeah. So get out there, make yourself visible, and do something. And so in honor of that, this is like not, I feel like this is like not that much stuff for you guys, but I wanted to kind of I just like did a quick Google search of, what has been in the news in the past month and the IBD world since in honor of IBD week, Awareness Week. One of the headlines was that the new anti-TL1A drug, there's a few of them. Okay. There's not just one.
There's multiple.
Yeah. Trying to be developed, but one of them is making such good progress it's in the phase 3 of trials.
All right. That's
good. Which is really good. So it's promising.
Getting there.
Yeah. And we can go, I think we'll do probably a podcast on anti-TL1As because
that a little bit
yeah, people are probably wondering, well, what makes it different than what we currently have?
That will be coming up soon.
Yeah. And the other headline is that UCSD, which is local to us, we drive by the medical center all the time. So when we go to Rady's, they have a new AI generated mechanistic insight with how a gut immune mutation may drive Crohn's. And so they were using AI to do a study. So their AI study revealed how there is a broken partnership basically between the NOD2 gene and so the NOD2 and the GERDin protein triggers, and how they trigger, how that partnership triggers inflammation and Crohn's disease. Interesting. They're looking at genetics to see things, and if you've had genetic studies, you can look at yours and see if there's any connection there for you. I don't believe Mason had any of these, any of the variations or mutations. So interesting study. Be interesting to learn more about that.
Getting to the point where we're incorporating AI with.
That's what I thought was actually, where they're starting to use that to help them. So
there's going to be mixed opinions on that.
Right. So it's not necessarily groundbreaking yet, but it's news that they were able to use it to find some kind of a connection. And that's kind of where things are heading. So anyways, other headline is that UCSF Health is launching an IBD longevity clinic. And so it's a dedicated clinic for older adults with IBD. Which I thought is cool. I mean, I think it'd be cool if they did this for pediatrics.
Agreed.
Because I think that's not to say I think anyone with IBD deserves to have dedicated medical teams for them.
No.
But I think being pediatric or being older, it may have different severities or different things you need to look out for.
Hmm.
So one of the things they talk about is that older patients with IBD face distinct health challenges like bone health, medication side effects, comorbidities. They've opened, it says, a multidisciplinary clinic that blends the gastroenterology, geriatrics, pharmacy, nutrition, and primary care to provide holistic care for IBD patients age 65 and over. Yeah, and so I guess one of the things they said, and I know Mace would, you can appreciate this, Mace. One of the things they want to address age-related issues like fall risk and with bone density.
Yeah,
and
osteoporosis.
This is where I was like, what's important for people to remember is that bone density. I mean, in people over 65, yes, definite. There's more of a concern, but for Mason, it's already a concern.
Wow, I'm one fragile boy.
I know, so fragile. These are why these things are important for everybody. So with IBD, I think that one of the things that's missed is the bone density for all ages with this disease. But I think it's good that they're looking at this. So anyways, cool. Go UCSF. It's neat to see.
Places, yeah.
Well, it's cool to see different groups getting the special attention that they deserve. But really all of you definitely do deserve special attention with this.
Well, I feel like this is one of the major steps towards that.
It is. And I think they're starting to say, hey, look, different ages are going to have different challenges. So maybe we should have different clinics, dedicate different things to different challenges of different age groups.
I mean, no, this is not the same thing at all, but it's kind of like how Camp Oasis is specifically for children,
with IBD.
With IBD. It'd be cool if we had something like that for adults.
I know, right?
How many of them would do that?
Or even like
we're getting into targeted groups,
like camps for families.
Yeah,
I mean,
fun. That's
so
fun.
everybody
For the whole family.
Yeah, because I know there is a camp. We were talking to one of your infusion nurses. We were talking with the nurse about kids with cancer, and she goes and she'll be a nurse at those places and assist. And what it is though is they address the siblings and make sure that they get their own time too. And so I think a lot of times the patient, there's a lot of focus, but then there's family members that are also affected by these that could use some of that. So yeah, so kind of cool idea if they had like Camp Oasis for like older groups or just to connect.
You have older different groups, you have ones.
I think it's a good idea.
The Thanksgiving chat group where it's all watching the new football game.
Yeah, like maybe some people knit, maybe some people
and then you have like a
paint.
Cooking class.
Maybe some people cook, so you could
there was actually a culinary one in Camp Oasis, and it was tomato sauce, wasn't it? It was.
They're just talking about it was something like a spaghetti.
Yeah, but it was pretty cool.
Yeah, but I think that'd be kind of cool. Maybe if you met people who are interested in certain things, you could meet them there and befriend them. You could do virtual, you could do on site. So yeah, I think that's a good idea.
Teaching others how to be aware with others,
Yeah.
Not just saying, oh, well, this is how I do it, so this is how you should do it. No, we're going to teach you how to understand others and be more respectful.
That's a good idea.
And listen. Yeah, that'd be good, right?
I think so. Good job, Mason. Yeah. We'll go ahead and
Mason.
Yeah. So moving on from that. The other thing is there was a study done that showed real world long-term safety data for vitalizumab, which is Tibio, but that it shows no new safety signals. So no new concerns. They've been doing because it was a newer drug when Mason got it.
That's crazy to think that it's a newer one.
Yeah. And so it's been 5 years since Mason started it.
Yeah.
And so since then they've done more studies to still confirm, it looks good. That's safe.
Good.
Yeah. And then there was one more headline about that they did a safety study also on combining biologic and small molecule therapies. And they've had acceptable safety in refractory IBD, which is kind of like Mason. So refractory would mean hard to treat. You've treated it with everything. You've done the individual therapies. Things aren't working. So now you start doing dual therapies.
That's good to hear.
And so, that's like if I'm like for those of you out there, maybe if you were combining like Skyrizi and a JAK inhibitor, but small molecule therapies. So not dual biologics, but dual therapies.
All right. Well, at least you're testing with that area.
It's good to do that because some people respond well to JAK inhibitors, but need that extra
boost.
boost. And so it's good to see they're continuing to study. So just so you guys out there know, these on the back end here, there's still studies being done to check the safety and efficacy of these biologics and small molecule therapies.
We're still learning about this. That's good to know that we're checking the safety of these things.
Yeah. So we're not going into detail on this. These were just the headlines. What I can try to do is find the links though to each of these and put them in there. So if you want to read about them, you can. But we didn't want to just come here. I didn't know as of yesterday. I was like, I don't know how we're going to sound, which thankfully we're doing okay. I usually use my voice, so I was actually worried I wouldn't even have that today. And then
you turn into Batman.
Oh. People are like, who is this on the podcast?
I'm Mason, and welcome back to IBD Determined.
I know. And I was worried. I was like, so I was like, I don't want to keep interrupting. So we're doing well. So I think we're going to probably call it because it's gone well.
Yeah.
But we didn't want to skip this. We wanted to tune in and just see how you guys are all doing, because we're heading into one of the, craziest times of the year, best times of the year.
Yeah, craziest, the most wonderful times.
Yeah. And especially with it being IBD Awareness Week, it's like we can't not post during this week.
Just
it's
to
so
think that IBD Awareness Week is in the same month as Christmas.
I know.
Wow.
I know. Lots
Y'all needed to know that, right? Yeah.
So that's basically it. You guys can follow us on Instagram at Team IBD Determined. You can also listen to us on any podcast station like Spotify, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, and check our links to see where else you can listen. And if you're watching us right now, you can see us on YouTube.
Yeah, YouTube.
Yeah.
Right. So if you want to go on YouTube, make sure to give us a like and subscribe. And if you want to be notified every time we post a new video, make sure to hit that bell icon. If you want to make any comments about
anything we've talked about, share your story.
Share your stories. Have you gotten sick this holiday season? Because I'm sure you want to talk about that, right?
Share your story for IBD Awareness Week.
Share your story for IBD Awareness Week.
Yeah, if you want to do that on our page, feel free. All right, guys. Well, thank you for listening. And we'll be back nice and healthy, hopefully here and next time we see you in the next couple weeks. So have a good weekend.
Have a good
week.
IBD week.
Day.
Christmas.
Morning, afternoon, whatever your time when you're listening. Make it a good one, okay?
Good day, yeah.
All right, thanks for listening. See you in 2 weeks.
Bye.
Bye.
We hope you will stick around, tune in, and reach out to us with your own journeys. We are excited to give you an inside view of what it takes to be a caregiver and what it's like to be a patient.
And most of all, we hope you'll maybe be able to apply something you hear on here that might help you in your own life. Sometimes life changes, and it's all about how you handle the journey.